Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance for True Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the wrath. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some wrath in the show. So let me know.
Hi, I'm the ballsy badass Shotzi Blackheart, and you're watching True Heel Heat.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for our TNA Bound for Glory 2025 review. Breaking down last night's show from Lowell, Massachusetts, as Mike Santana has finally done it. He finally wins the big one. He finally hands the TNA World Championship to his daughter on a night where TNA made history again, but not in always some good ways. But we're going to talk all about it as only we can. And to do that today, I am joined by you're doing back-to-back shows, so I'm going to call you the unofficial TNA correspondent.
Oh, no.
Yes, unofficial TNA correspondent. Because of your awesome rants from the TNA Slammiversary review by popular demand, he is back from the Around the Point Network. It is Chase Oliver. How are you doing?
This is a title I will not accept. I am not the unofficial TNA. Oh, come on. because it's TNA and it's always fun to talk about what antics they have going on. But I barely watch Impact or TNA, whatever they call it nowadays. I barely watch it. Like I was a huge fan. I was in the trenches. Yeah, I was in the trenches. I watched when they were Impact Wrestling. I'm a very depressed TNA fan. I'm not I just lost hope. SP3. Now they're just NXT 3.0.
What are you talking about? You should be riding the high from last night. Record attendance for a paper, record North American attendance for TNA. It's Mike Santana finally completes the story. Team 3D retires in an instant match with the Hardys, one final table. And yeah, there was a lot of good things from last night. Javon Evans and Leon Slater proving themselves to be the future.
You're sounding like these TNA sickles right now, SP3. What's going on? What, are you sick? Or do you have a fever? Did you go to the doctors lately?
My job on this channel is to sometimes counterbalance a lot of the very, very, very heated opinions, unfiltered opinions that is on this channel, and to give a different perspective. And I always look at all the companies. I try to look at all companies from every side of what I would say about the company that I don't like, what I would say about the company that I do like, what would I say about the company if I worked for the company and I wanted to put on a good face, and what would I say for the company if I was very anti them, and what can I really dig into them in regards to my dislikes and their structural concerns. So right now I'm wearing my hat of I work for TNA. It was a good night. These are the positive. These are the positive notes to take away from TNA Bound for Glory. They made history. First time ever. Call your shot gauntlet with 2 winners. History! History, I tell you, Chase. History.
See,
what are we talking about here?
This is where TNA, they're so good at this. Every wrestling company's got this, but TNA especially, they're so good at hypnotizing their fan base. They're so good at making people look at the sunshines and rainbows. When we all know TNA is just like your deadbeat dad. You feel like he's going to be around. You're like, oh, he actually showed up to the football game for once, Mom. He's going to be there. But then when it matters, he just lets you down. That's TNA. They'll do this. They'll give you the small little moments that you'll like. You'll be happy for them. You're going to say, wow, TNA's turning the corner. But then when it matters, like their biggest show of the year, Bound for Glory, they just give you a middling experience. If this was a TNA Genesis, if this was a TNA Final Resolution, fine. If it's just okay, I'm fine with it. Not your biggest show of the year. Not the show that gets more eyeballs, Bound for Glory or Slammiversary. Those are the 2 shows. They don't get any passes from me. They have to stick the landing or deliver. And did they deliver on some aspects? Yes, sure. 3 months too late for Mike Santana, but sure, they delivered. Hey, look, your dad missed the football game, Timmy. But guess what? He gave you at least a Christmas present, a gift card to Target. He made up for it. It's like, this is what TNA does. They're so good at this. They're so good at it. It's amazing. Every wrestling company is good at manipulating their fans, but TNA specifically, they're so good at making their fans just feel like the takes I saw for Javon Evans and Leon Slater hurt my head.
Oh man, don't get me started. I know that there was some people that were like, they're young, so they'll be fine. It's building to something bigger. It's a part of the TNA NXT storyline. What are you guys talking about? They're gonna have a big matchup on Halloween Havoc. You shouldn't be complaining. This is gonna set up for something bigger. And you have 2 guys who are 21 years old going out there and outperforming everybody else on this card, and still with that shit finish, still had the best match on the show, and you let them down. You always are about these Bound for Glories. You want the one matchup that you can talk about. That's been your big thing the last couple of years, about these instant classics at Bound for Glory. Last year, I think it was Speedball Mike Bailey versus Vikingo. That was the big dream match that they were building up going in, and it paid off. They had a great matchup.
Yep.
2 years ago, it worked out like gangbusters because that was when they were good with New Japan, and they got Will Ospreay on his final runs before he went to AEW, and they did the Will Ospreay Speedball Mike Bailey matchup. I think 3 years ago, they had a whole bunch of good matchups. I think they had like Speedball versus Frankie. They had Josh versus Eddie Edwards. So like they always do these for the Bound for Glory, and then you have this one and you ruin it because apparently neither side wanted their guy to lose. I don't know. Like you didn't want Javon Evans. Javon Evans, who loses every week, every big match he has. He couldn't lose this one. He couldn't lose this one.
The same Javon Evans that got pinned at the showdown by Leon Slater. And then if you had Javon Evans win this week, if you had Javon Evans win tonight, then it's like, oh, they're 2-2 kind of. We could have a big third match down. Like, why book the match if you're not going to have a winner? That just makes no sense to me. Why book the match? Like, when people say there's something bigger leading to this, what do you mean there's something bigger? This is the big. This is TNA Bound for Glory. This is like, if I don't watch Bound for Glory and I go to SP3, hey, I didn't watch Bound for Glory, anything to check out. SP3 is supposed to be like Chase, not a really good card, but you got to go out of your way to see Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Just like Speedball Mike Bailey and Will Ospreay 2 years ago. It's like, you got to see that match. You have to watch that one. That's the one you got to watch if you got to watch anything. Okay, cool. That's what you need for this. So that way people go, oh, shit, that match. What else was on this card? And then they go back, and then maybe they're like, oh, I like the Hardcore War. Hey, you know what? That main event, that was actually pretty solid. Oh, wow, I enjoyed a lot of aspects. I'm going to go back and watch TNA. I can't suggest this match to anyone. I like at all. Like I even though it's good match. I can't tell people like, yeah, you should,
because you're setting them up for failure.
Yeah,
they're going to be into the matchup, and then they're going to be let down by the ending.
And then these 4 jobbers come out and beat them up, and then you're just like, what the fuck is this? Like, why did I watch this? Like, I got invested, and then these 4 randos who are these guys? Like, I'm sorry, but freaking losers, man. I'm so tired. Yeah, dude. I wish I was available, SP3, when you invited me to do Crown Jewel. I wish I was available for that, because that at least had a better match between John Cena and AJ Styles than whatever the fuck I saw from the Hardys and Team 3D.
That was not a love letter to pro wrestling. That was like a sext.
Yeah,
pro wrestling.
that was a DM slide for pro wrestling. Like, it was just like, hey, you want to see this? And it's like, sure. It's the Dudleys, it's the Hardys. It's like, how the fuck is Edge, who had a broken neck and had to retire, walking better than all 4 of these guys in this match? Like, Edge, he can still walk around just fine. Yeah. Broken neck. And Devon, like, I was watching with Romeo. We were saying we should go back and rewatch this match to see how many times Devon actually walks during the match, because he was not even moving. Bubba Ray, who's still training guys on LFG, horrible shape.
And he's not a good coach. He's not. If you've seen LFG, you can attest. Bully Ray is not a good coach. Before we get even more into, we're just ranting at this point. Into this thing.
I'm sorry. It was just like all the PTA. It's just it's fun. It's TNA, man. It's hilarious.
We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on the video. You can share the video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And, of course, you can sound off in the comment section if you're watching us on demand. If you're listening to us on the podcast platforms, hit the subscribe button, give us a 5-star. If you're watching on Spotify or iTunes, help us out over there. And you could sound off in the live chat if you're joining us live here on YouTube or on Facebook. Sound off, give us your thoughts on TNA Bound for Glory. What did you think about the night? And of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to get back to what we do here, you want to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always, always appreciate the support. We got addicted to big white thighs. Trick should have dropped the title to AJ Styles. No.
Hey man,
I mean, if they want like a bigger WWE star to hold their title, then yeah, sure.
yeah.
But they did a good job with the build up. They did 18-month build up with Mike Santana since he came back to the company last April, and it paid off here. It was well done. It's just unfortunate that one of the big stops in it was in his hometown and was a better place to pull the trigger.
100% better place. When they announced the Bronx, New York, and they booed it, and then they said Mike Santana, they cheered him. I was like, something's yeah. The crowd would have been so much more better and stuff. Like when we get to the main event, I'll talk about it. But yeah, it's TNA. What do you expect?
It's TNA. TNA gun TNA. We got Eric Isaac in the chat who says, "Hey THH fam, what a show! Dudley's giving their boots to the Hardys. Chris Bay and Elijah returns. Santana brings the title back home, and the star of the show, Mama Macklin." We got Kaza in the chat who says, "Yo." We got Greg Carter II who says, "What's good, everyone? Why didn't they just do this in New York when they had the chance?" It's a good question.
Could have been Mustafa Ali versus Santana for the TNA title to build up this great story that they've been having in TNA for the last year and stuff. But no, still got to build this NXT and TNA partnership. That would have been really big. Or if NXT really wanted to show that, hey, this is a great partnership with TNA and we want to build something. Mike Santana's defending the title against Dawula Obafemi. And as Obafemi's on his way up to the main roster, he puts over Ricky Saints. Random ass person to put over. And then he puts over Santana, and it's like, wow, Obafemi, what a guy, putting over people and stuff, and the ruler of the ring, the ruler of the WWE, great job. And nope, instead it's you got Trick Williams versus Santana.
If this was the plan like all along, why did they even do? I wouldn't even do Mike in the matchup at Slammiversary.
Yeah,
I would keep him as far away from that. I would have extended the little mini feud that they did on TNA TV between Mike and AJ Francis and do like a New York City street fight at Slammiversary and let Joe Hendry and Trick Williams do like a stip matchup to pay off their rivalry in the main event. Or you could switch around the main event. I don't know if you want to end the night with Trick Williams as the winner, but you did it anyway, so why not? So yeah, you do that as the main event. You do Mike Santana beating AJ Francis, and then you end the night with Mike Santana coming out and saying he's the next challenger.
wow.
And he stakes his claim in his hometown. He's going for the world championship, and he's gonna have his daughter there at Bound for Glory, the biggest event of the year. Like, that's a better way to close your show than the 3-way and the finish that we got.
Yeah, especially when Bubba Ray in that same show announced a match for Bound for Glory for the TNA World Tag Team titles. What, Trick Williams? It's like, sorry, he has to be TNA champion. No, it's Mike Santana can make that claim. Wow, that's too much logic. I can't believe the logic you used. This is pro wrestling, so it's a great idea, but it would never happen. It just makes too much sense. Wow.
Too much sense. Yeah, I know. I messed up there. We got here Myron Kid, who's trying to gauge the audience in the chat. You can answer him in the chat yourself, or you can answer him in the comment section. Says, which SP3 rant will be the biggest? Ending to BFG Call Your Shot Gauntlet, or ending of Slater and Evans? What is your prediction, Chase?
Ending of Slater and Evans. That's the Bound for Glory Gauntlet. That's just vintage. LOL TNA. This is funny. This is the harmless LOL TNA, where it's just like, oh my god, why are they doing this booking? Fuck it. Who cares? Like, it's fine.
Oh man, it's like, why does this company do these things? Greg Garden II says Saquon Sugars is like Busta Rhymes in Leaders of the New School. He's clearly better than these other guys. Absolutely. He's the star, and it's not even close.
Is he the black guy with the dreads, the shorter one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't even have to know his name. You know who the star is.
Yeah, he's the only one that shows any hint of potential of like, I can see him mid Carter. I can see that. The other ones, like, they have that one guy that's like, he's like tallish, He has a good look to him. He just sucks. Like I'm just like I don't even know which one he is. He's light skinned. I don't know his name. He looks like
He's got dreads or
no, he's shaved. Like he has like a nice shave. His head's like kind of. He has like a short shaved haircut and stuff. He's a tall looking
black guy.
Yeah,
It's
or
Dion Lennox.
Yeah, he has a look, but like he sucks. He's just like was he the guy that like missed the leg drop on Jeff Hardy, or was that another?
No,
idiot?
no, that was Osiris Griffin. That's the one with the he's awful. He's not good.
Get this guy away. Like
that leg drop. Oh my god! I was like, oh, take him off TV now.
Send them to Evolve. Send them to OVW. Send them to anywhere that isn't NXT. What is this performance center for? If these fuckers can't hit a leg drop, like you're going against the Hardys too, and they wrestle at slow mo now. This should fuck these guys.
Like you were in a match with the Hardys where Matt Hardy had the quickest sequence of the matchup where he came in for his hot tag. And I was like, oh, Matt actually looked good, even though he's limping and walking like this with his bad back. Jeez, man.
We were both so concerned.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about TNA Bound for Glory. What did you think about the crowd last night in Lowell, Massachusetts?
Hit or miss. There was moments they were up, and then you could tell when they didn't care because they would be dead quiet. I will say, I did like how TNA maximized the arena. They used the WWE setup with the curve ramp and the steps and everything. Like
this was the WWE set to This was all WWE. I was like, this is very WWE coded. And I was like, is this a sign that WWE is putting in money in TNA, or they already bought a part of TNA? But something changed because not only did they use like the entranceway set, they had the steel steps of the WWE.
Yeah, like the thing was like it made the arena feel bigger. Like I was like, you know what? I know there's not a lot of people, like 6,000. They claim 7,763 people, whatever. Sure, if you claim all the people in the back, sure. But it made it feel bigger, and I was like, I appreciate the attempt of illusion. I appreciate that attempt. But yeah, this crowd, you knew they cared when they cared, and when they did not care, it was dead quiet. Indy Hartwell, Kalani Jordan, I'm sorry. They could give two shits when you did that.
Yo, someone tried to convince me that was a good matchup. I was like, I mean, okay. I was like, no one in Lowell believes you.
They set back women's wrestling 5 years, but with their match, Indy Hartwell needs to be gone. She's terrible.
All right, let's talk about it. Well, as always with our pay-per-view reviews, previews, reviews, usually we get one word, one phrase to give our overall thoughts on TNA Bound for Glory. Mine is simply LOL TNA and or better late than never. That's really for the main event. Chase.
Mid.
I think that's even better. All right, let's talk about the pre-show, which had the Inspiration defending the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships against the Elegance brand. The brand was challenging after losing the titles a couple of weeks ago. You get M by Elegance. He hits a coast to coast at one point for a 2 count. Commentary runs through the Bound for Glory card. A top rope double stomp gets a 2 count with McKay making the save. You get Lee fights back. McKay gets the tag to clean house, but M's pump kick gets a 2 count. Heather gets sent outside though, and this leads to the Inspiration hitting their idolizer for the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory here and retain the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. This was like 5 minutes. Just 1 minute below 5 minutes. This was just a fine kickoff show matchup. This felt like this could have been like a freaking dark match. Like it's so short. It's like 5 minutes. Get it out the way. If you turned on the pre-show too late, you probably missed this one. What did you think?
Yeah, good appetizer. It's like when you go to the restaurant, you order appetizer before the main course. This is all that was. It's like because when you go to wrestling shows. And this is why I miss when WWE used to have the dark matches before the PLEs or pay-per-views. fans get restless, especially if you're someone like me who gets there mad early. They get restless. You're just sitting there. You're debating, do I go to the food stand? Do I grab my third beer? The show hasn't even started yet. I'm on my third beer. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, there's a wrestling match. Sick. I can watch something. So yeah, it was fine. It's harmless stuff. Well, I'm sure this is going to be the pre-show match for the next pay-per-view. It seems like they're the only two women's tag teams that exist. Can WWE send some of their women tag teams to this? Like, what Raquel and Roxanne? What the fuck are they doing? They're not doing anything. Send them.
Well, if you saw Raw today, they're doing something. They actually got them going after the WWE Women's World Championship. So we'll see how that goes for them. But yeah, no, they need women's tag team. They need women in general. That's why we had the team that we had for Team TNA for the women at Showdown.
Team NXT versus Team NXT, the match I always wanted to see.
Yeah, it was Team NXT 2025 versus Team NXT 2015 through 2024. That's what that matchup was, basically. It was ridiculous. But yeah, this was just fine. Like I said, 2.5 stars is what I give it. We also had the TNA Hall of Fame that took place. You get the beautiful people who are inducted into the Hall of Fame by Tommy Dreamer. You also get Mickey James, who was inducted by Tara. Nice little speeches, nice little celebration of 3 of their greatest knockouts of all time. Anything you want to mention from the Hall of Fame ceremony?
Nick Aldis made the right choice. Good on you, Nick Aldis. Go to Australia. It was fine. You didn't need to go back here. You did not need to go back to TNA. Cause PTSD for when they misused you tremendously. I was high on Magnus. I was a Magnus guy. I was super high on him, and they ruined my dog. Fuck Rockstar Spud.
You didn't like his TNA World Championship run?
No, they ruined it. It was terrible. It was one of the worst world. It made me almost stop watching. It's sad when I say that. I enjoyed Bully Ray's world title run as TNA champion than Magnus.
Bully's title run was better.
Like they did everything to try to get Magnus over. Like I always remember that match with Sting, and Sting like it was on his way out. He didn't give a fuck.
The Scorpion. He beat him with the Scorpion Deathlock.
Yeah, and
I remember that only because when I went to All In, the first All In, this was at the peak of my rivalry with Cody, and I hated Cody. And when Aldis puts the Scorpion Deathlock on Cody, I'm the only one jumping up and down. I'm like, he beat Sting with that move.
Yeah, it's like you and me. We were the only ones that knew that AJ was paying a tribute to Frankie Kazarian and not doing a random ass move.
Yo, that was hilarious. I was like, I know most people don't know that Hangman borrowed the move from Frankie when they were in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, like Hangman, I'm cool with it. Him having the dead eye and stuff, but that was a shout out to Frankie because and someone brought this up to me when AJ was tuning up the band for the Sweet Chin Music. Someone said, if you look at it a different way, the way he was kicking and the way he paused, that's more of a James Storm last call super kick, and I'm taking it as
right, you're going a little too far.
Me as the big James Storm mark, the original Jey Uso, James Storm. I'm taking it as he did the last.
No, stop it! No.
Long next
it's the tuning up of the band. Dave Storm never tuned up the band.
Yeah,
he stood in the corner. No, he stood in the corner. He never tuned up the band.
He started doing it like at a random point. He started tuning up the band during his babyface run and stuff. I remember this vividly. Like he was like he would do 1 and then 2 stomps and then pause and then do the super kick. The original Jey Uso, James Storm.
That's an outrageous reach. I will not allow this.
I'm allowing it because it's James Storm. He's the greatest guy that should have been.
James Storm's my dog. I got drunk with James Storm. He's good.
Yeah, James Storm's awesome. I remember when he came to Irvine. I don't care. It's not like I'm gonna get in trouble. This is years ago. For Bound for Glory 2009, I met James Storm and stuff, and he didn't even ask my age. Goes, here you go, man. Here's a beer. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just drank a beer with James Storm. But I was just like, I'm 17 at this point. And I'm like, dude, this is sick. I'm drinking a beer with James Storm. Christopher Daniels is chilling right there. And then there was one other dude, and I couldn't remember who it was, but it was like a smaller TNA wrestler at the time. I can't remember the name, but I was like, this is so sick. I'm like, TNA wrestlers are so badass. Like I don't expect like because I every time I met a WWE wrestler in person, they were dicks. And then James Storm, he was like, "Hey man, here you go," and I'm like, "Damn, he just gave me a beer. Sick." Yeah, James Storm's sick, but
TNA's rules, man.
yeah, TNA fan product. But yeah, Sting came out so out of shape for that match, wearing a T-shirt and just like T-shirt Sting. Like you knew it was just horrible at that point. But yeah, Magnus, you made the right call. Like Mickey, I know you're sad he couldn't show up, but hey, he had a job to do. He has to recruit Javon Evans to SmackDown. He has a bunch of stuff to do for SmackDown, and he wasn't on the show, but he has a job to do. Okay.
He was barely on the show. He was barely on any of the shows, but he had some stuff to do.
Yeah.
But international championship is how we kicked off the main card. Oh, we should mention the United States national anthem was sang before the show before the main card, and it was not booed.
No,
So
Romeo
I think that
was triggered.
The key to that would be don't do the United States anthem in a different country.
I agree.
That's probably a key. That might help things. I got into two different debates or two different rants from people. I did the Round Jewel review with Romeo, and he was upset because he's military, and I understood. I was like, I understand why you feel that way. I don't see it that way. I see booing the national anthem is booing the politics and the viewpoints of America. It is not booing the American people. He feels that is booing the American people. We had that difference of opinion. I brought that up to Miss Chrissy Love, and she went on a whole rant about ICE. So I love the difference of opinions mentioning that from Crown Jewel that the U.S. anthem got booed, where it goes in the conversation.
Yeah, to me, I'm just like, hey, look, it is what it is. People boo, people cheer. Doesn't affect me at the end of the day. I'm stuck in this country. I could leave this country if I want to, but I'm here, so it is what it is. I know how idiotic my country is. I mean, life is a cycle if you think about it. It's just bullshit happens. Repeat. I mean, this country wasn't even our country. It was the Indians, and then we came to this land, and then the Europeans came to this land, the Spaniards came to the land, and forced the Indians out of their country, of this country. So, you know what is America? What is this country? It's just a melting pot of a mess right now.
America, we love you. Yes, international championship up for grabs to kick off the show. It is Frankie Kazarian defending against the first ever inaugural champion, inaugural international champion Steve Maclin. Maclin is challenging after losing the title at Victory Road 2 weeks ago. We start fast with Maclin suicide diving into Kazarian on the floor before the bell rings. They got into it on the outside before eventually getting back inside to start off the matchup. Kazarian hits a slingshot Faymaster, followed by a sunset flip bomb to the floor. Kazarian goes after Steve Maclin's mom, who's at ringside, and Maclin's mom promptly flips him off, which got a big pop from the crowd, allowing Maclin to jump him from behind. We get an angle slam, hits Kazarian's back inside, and then Maclin grabs his own crossface tricking wing. That's reversed into a roll-up for a 2 count. Maclin switches things into a Boston Crab now. Then you get Kazarian. He gets out and he hits a Pele kick into an Angel's Wings. We get him getting the tribute to AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels after Styles sent the tribute to Kazarian at Crown Jewel. Kazarian slingshot cutter. He hits it the same way he hit it at Victory Road to win the title, but this time Maclin kicks out. He tries for the corner Tree of Woe spear, which is a signature move of Maclin, but Macklin's able to move out the way. He puts Kazarian into that position, and he hits him, the tag him and bag him spear in the corner. He then follows up with an elevated KIA 1, 2, 3. Steve Maclin is your new and 2-time TNA International Champion. Post-match, he goes to the front row, and he celebrates with Mama Maclin, and they flip off the camera. This was fine. This was solid work. 2 guys out there that know what they're doing. 2 professionals went out there and had a solid professional wrestling match. Nothing to kind of like write home about, but nothing to complain about either. I gave this one 3 stars.
Yeah, this is Chris Jericho versus William Regal from WrestleMania 17. It's like it's fine. It goes out there, two guys that know what they're doing. Doesn't hurt. Crowd liked some of the moments in this match. I was like, not the opener I would have started with, but maybe it'll get better. I did not expect this to be the best match until later into the night. Like I was so shocked that I was like, there's no way that this is the best match until we got to what we got to.
It takes until the second half of the show to get a match.
Yeah, exactly. Like this was like, okay, a good start to the pay-per-view. What's next? What's your
this
next
was like
match?
This was like when TNA really started getting their stride, where they gained the momentum to become TNA again, was back in 2018 when they first brought in Don Callis and Scott D'Amore to run things. And, D'Amore took over things full time on his own when Callis left around the time he got the job at AEW. But they came in and they had these balanced cards, which were very much like a New Japan card, where it starts with like a lesser matchup and then it builds. It gets better. It gets better and it goes on like that. And I feel like that's a very well-paced show. Like today's New Japan show, I can't wait to talk about on Wednesday. That was a splendid show that the best stuff is the final 3 matches. And I feel like that's how a wrestling card most of the time should go, where your best
100%.
matches are your final stretch of matches. But we've gotten into this kind of like habit of expecting ex-fans for the hot opener. You got to have if it's not the main event, the hottest other thing has to be the opener. And I think that's basically like a WWE custom that has become like something that fans now expect from every promotion.
Yeah. It's I just felt like you could have started with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, get like
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That was the more logical way to start the show.
Yeah, just get
but if they had that finished, I understand why they didn't.
Yeah, well,
this is in retrospect with that finish, this is the better choice.
Yeah, especially because Frankie, King Frankie, he had other plans for the night, brother. He was trying to pull the Rhino. I understand, Frankie. I understand your game. 20 years to the date of Rhino wrestling 3 matches. You were just trying to complete the Rhino. You wanted to complete the Rhino. Understood, Frankie. But yeah, no, this was a good opener. Like it, especially for a title that you're trying to get over, the international title. Maybe this is the title TNA uses as their kickoff title. Like, they used to rely on the X Division Championship as like back in like the Hogan era and stuff. Like that was the belt. Like, oh yeah, you don't want to miss the Ultimate X match that we're going to have for the 50th time. We're going to do this now. We're going to have this, like, this would be good. The international title. This is like either your opener or, your second match on the show title. Like that's fine. And especially like a guy like Macklin's champion where, it's like, yeah, he's not going to put on the greatest match, but it's not going to be horrible. It's good enough for you. It's like it pleases you.
And I think that Backlash is the type of guy with the right opponent, he could put on a great match.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, like Frankie is a good opponent. It's just Frankie, he's like, some nights he likes to take off. He's just
this is Frankie at the tail end of his career where he wants to kind of be. He's basically in his. He's just a more active in-ring competitor version of the Miz for a team. Yeah. That's what he is. He's the elder spaceman mid-card heel.
Main event heel. Come on. He's main event Frankie.
He's the elder space mid-card heel. Come on.
Oh, come on. Main event Frankie.
Him winning the Call Your Shot Gauntlet twice. For what? This would be so bad. We would be in a bad state.
See, Greg Carter gets it.
TNA World Champion. I'm sorry.
TNA champion. Yes, main event Frankie.
This is not 2009. This is not 2008. If you did this in 2008, I'd be like, "Yep, this is a great decision." This is Frankie. This is not even Frankie during the Bad Influence. I think if you bad influence was you could have made either one of those guys the main event heel and put the world title on them.
The Ego Hall of Fame.
After that run, this is Frankie after a Ring of Honor run. Even in a Ring of Honor run, how over the addiction was. They could have, if you split those guys up, that run was the whole reason Christopher Daniels finally got an ROH world title run. That run, you could push Frankie at that point. But then after the AEW run, where he started as the inaugural AEW World Tag Team Champion, and then slowly but surely trickled down the card following losing those titles in like January of 2020. Then there was the Elite Hunter era of 2021.
Never
And
got the payoff.
after that, they let him. They was like, yeah, you can go to TNA. We're cool. We're cool with TNA. You could do a little run in TNA.
Do you think Tony Khan even offered him a new contract? He goes to Tony Khan's office, like, Tony, I'm ready. Let's talk business. And Tony's like, actually, Frankie, I think I'm going to let you go. I don't know if I have any room for you on the roster.
A strategic trade. This was I feel like you can get your own type of headcanon. We're gonna create headcanon here. I feel like Tony Khan in 2022, when he let Frankie have that little run in TNA, that led to him going back to AEW for I think a month or two, and then eventually leaving when his contract expired, and then he signed with the TNA in the beginning of 2023. I think that was all a strategic trade by Tony Khan. He was like, hey, TNA, I'm going to give you Frankie Kazarian for 2 future considerations. And TNA took the deal. They was like, Frankie Kazarian, he's a guy with so much history in our company. Like, what could go wrong? The 2 future considerations were Speedball Mike Bailey and Josh Alexander.
Makes sense to me. It sounds like a TNA would do. They would just be like, Speedball, he's been one of our guys that we've been pushed. I always remember, I forgot what pay-per-view it was. They were pushing Speedball so hard, and then he was on the pre-show in a battle royal and he gets eliminated. I was like, this is the guy you're pushing. Like, why the fuck is he getting eliminated in a pre-show? And he lost to who was that fuckhead? The guy that Johnny Bravo or something? Like Johnny Bravo won the match or whatever his name was. I can't remember. He got shot on an episode of Impact. That's all I remember. Like, he got shot or he got killed or something like that. It was like some weird shit. Like, he lost there. And Josh Alexander, man, I think Don Callis needs to let him go. I think the family needs to
they need a good rebounder. He's a good rebounder. He gives them good minutes. He plays good defense.
Norris Cole ass like his Norris Cole.
You know. And now you know, for Kenny Omega, he needs to just be Zaza Pachulia to Kenny Omega's Kawhi Leonard. That's what we're hoping for here. But anyway. Trick Williams.
I had a question. Frankie Kazarian said that he shared the ring with John Cena. When was this? When did Frankie Kazarian ever wrestle John Cena? Because he shouted out both AJ and Cena, and he goes, "Oh, and I worked with both of them." I'm like, did he wrestle him at some point? OVW?
Well, I would guess during his indie days.
Oh, the UPW days
was in California.
Yeah, okay.
I was with Joe, and I think Daniels was around during that time too.
Yeah, okay.
I think Kazarian.
Okay, I was because I literally looked on Cage Match and I could not find.
He was in WWE Developmental.
Yeah, but when he was in WWE Developmental, Cena was already like U.S. champion.
Yeah, but still, you don't know. Maybe they did a dark show.
John Cena shows up to OVW.
Maybe he was an extra and he came in and got an AA. You never know.
That's true.
Trick Williams, he's backstage. He wants to know why he isn't being thanked for everything he's done around here. Yeah, he wears the TNA World Title upside down because he's turned TNA upside down. He's with his lawyer. He's the champion because he's best for business. We get a recap of the rivalry then between Tessa Blanchard and GM Miller. Everything that's gone on since Slammiversary. And then we get GM Miller, who looked great in her new attire, as she's going one-on-one with Tessa Blanchard here, making her TNA in-ring debut. This was your ring announcer versus wrestler matchup, so I don't think anybody was expecting this to kind of blow you away here. Blanchard had her black friend, Victoria Crawford, in her corner. Miller had Jody Threat in her corner. Blanchard let her grab a headlock early on. Miller's roll-up got a fast 2 count, but she gets basically sent throat first into the ropes where Tessa takes control. We get that's enough we get Victoria Crawford trying to get involved, tripping up Gia Miller, and then she's ejected by the referee. Jody Threat then takes her out along with security, who was trying to take Victoria Crawford away from ringside. Threat chases Crawford to the back, and Miller gets a Luthez press, followed by a spinning middle rope crossbody. Granted, it hit Blanchard's feet, but at least she tried. Blanchard isn't having that. She takes the turnbuckle, the turnbuckle pad, the pad that has the cord connecting it to the ring post off of it. But what we would find out is that she was basically grabbing something that was in it. This allows her to press Miller's head against the buckle, and then a headbutt staggered Tessa. It looked like Miller was in control. She goes for a big power bomb, but like I said, Tessa took something from that turnbuckle pad, and it was a roll of quarters, a throwback to a famous finish from her father, Tully Blanchard, against Dusty Rhodes back at Starrcade in the 80s. Tessa Blanchard picks up the win with a roll of quarters here. The referee, I would ask for a replay if I saw that many quarters in the ring. I'm just saying. I know he had to look like he was confused. He's acknowledging it, but there was like way too many that I would have said something. But yeah, I don't understand why this was even on the pay-per-view. This was like a nothing matchup. This was very one-sided. They barely did anything to make Gia looked like she trained to be a wrestler. She looked good for everything that she did do, but they barely gave her any offense in this matchup. This was kind of a letdown for me. I expected a little bit more from this. I'll give it a star.
This sucked. I don't know why this existed. Like you said, the quarter spot, I thought Tessa was going to lose via DQ because the ref was going to notice the quarters, and then that would lead to Tessa like even being more upset, like, oh my gosh, she lost to this arena announcer, and then it's going to lead to something else down the line. Who knows? But no, referee's stupid, and then just counts the 3. Tessa wins for what? Like, what? You don't want to put the title on her. Like, it's like clear as day. Like, you're not going to put the title on her because that title is important to this NXT relationship. So, and WWE doesn't seem interested at all in her. Like, they're not even trying to like feature her at all. Like, they're not even going to put her in any situation. So what's the point of having Tessa win? What's the point of having her feud with the arena announcer? What are we trying to accomplish here? Why is she even here at this point? Like, I get it. Most people don't like Tessa Blanchard. Understandable. I understand why people hate her. But if you're going to have a talent like her, you got to find something for her that would make people say, hey, we have this controversial character. I know people don't like her, but let's put her in storylines that are at least good or feed off the fact people want to see her lose. You're not doing any of that. You're just having her because she's a former TNA world champion or something. Like, what are we doing?
It's insane to me. Oh yeah, it was 3 future considerations. Myron Kidd is right. It was shout out to Ace Austin.
I think TNA forgot that in their trade. Like, they were just like, hey Tony, I know we just sent you Josh, but here's Ace Austin. And Tony's like, well, I like Ace Austin, but I don't know if I really need him right now. No, here, take him. Take him.
Just take him.
And Ace Austin's like, thank God, bro. They just keep having me be exhibition champ. I feel like I find, I used to not like Ace Austin. I was like, oh, I don't like this guy. And then he grew on me. And I was like, yeah, he's leaving TNA the minute that he can, because this guy's just too good for this shitty company. They're not going to make him a world champion like him.
Remember in 2020 when they boasted about him being the youngest man to challenge for the TNA world title at Slammiversary, only for him to go 5 more years and never sniff another title shot.
Yeah, him and Trey Miguel, they're like the 2 guys where it's like TNA really was like that's why with Leon, I always tell people I always fear for Leon Slater, like, or the fun X Division guy, as I like to call them, where TNA like hypes them up. And then it's like, oh, they're going to become world champion one day, right? Right? And then it's like, no, they either just stay in X Division, being a stupid tag team, or they're doing random feuds with a TNA legend. Like Bram would come back, and then we're like, oh, you're feuding with Bram. It's like, what? Why is he feuding with this guy? TNA legend? Since when? He's no off. The hell is this? Like, but yeah, happy for Ace Austin.
And it just seems like when you even look at the just this decade alone, everybody that's broke out, they've had to leave.
Yeah.
They eventually always leave. Like, that's why, like, with Mike Santana, I think that's the thing that TNA was cautious about and why they probably took so long. They were hesitant to pull the trigger on him winning the title, because everybody they built up in the last 5 years that's actually gotten over to a significant percentage. I think that they've all left, except for maybe like Moose. Moose is like the only one you could probably make an argument for, and I think that you're kind of stretching that argument. But like the new guys, like a Santana and a Slater, they seem destined to just go somewhere else.
Yeah. Don't worry, Santana, you'll be NXT bound soon enough. Or heck, I wouldn't be surprised the way that they mind tricked Santos Escobar to resign a contract, and they say Triple H goes, "You know what, kid? I've seen enough. You're main roster. I'll have you on SmackDown. You'll look good for a few months. You'll answer Sammy's open challenge, and then afterwards, I'll forget about you. But you're at least making $2 million a year." And Santana's like, "Fuck it."
He's like that 2 million goes a long way in the Bronx.
Yeah, Santos Escobar, I'm leaving. I'm done. I hate my booking. I was supposed to be Triple H champ, and then Dom stole it from me. Triple H's like, how does 2 million sound?
He's like, that actually sounds really good. All right,
that sounds really good. I have a house in Florida. 2 million in Mexico because of my house in Mexico sounds like I'm a billionaire there. Amazing. Let's go, Triple H. I'll be in the backstage doing nothing.
Thanks, Papa H. There you get the aforementioned, the match that y'all wanted us to talk about the most. The Call Your Shot Gauntlet.
Oh, no.
Lei Ying Lee is first out. We start off with two women, Lei Ying Lee and Mara Sade. This is the 20-person Royal Rumble style matchup. 2 minutes for the first two entrants, and then another participant will join them in the ring. And then after that, it's every minute a new participant will join the matchup. And the match ends for the competitors by being eliminated, by being thrown over the top rope. The last two competitors standing, it turns into a singles match. And the winner of that will go on to get a shot at any TNA title of their choosing anytime they would like for up to a year. So it's basically Royal Rumble meets Money in the Bank for TNA. So the ladies go at it for a bit when they are joined by Ryan Nemeth. I like the ladies beating up Ryan as soon as he got into the ring. This brings up Nick Nemeth. He basically tries to go after Mara Sade after their interaction a couple of weeks ago where he gave her a super kick. Sade gets revenge by hitting him with the super kick. Ryan has to save Nick from being eliminated, and then Nick gives a clothesline to both Sade and Lee. You get Cedric Alexander. He joins the fray, and he starts going at it with the Nemeths. Rich Swann is out, former TNA World Champion, and he starts looking good for a few minutes here. Then he is joined by his first-class teammate, AJ Francis. AJ quickly gets all the heat in the room as he eliminates Mara Sade and Lei Ying Lee. Both ladies are out of this matchup. He then poses with Rich Swann and then turns on Rich Swann, giving him a chokeslam and then eliminating him as well. The former Northern Armory, Sinner and Saint are out next. They flip a coin because apparently there's only one spot for one of the members of Sinner and Saint. Keep a pin in that. Keep a pin in that. We'll get back to that shortly.
Oh, God.
A suplex takes Ryan down, and it's wrestling YouTuber BDE in at number 5. BDE escapes a chokeslam and stunners Francis to a big reaction. The Rascals then come out, all 3 of them.
So stupid. I was so pissed when this happened. I was so pissed. All 3 come out, but Sinner and Saint had to flip a coin. What the fuck is this?
Sinner and Saints had to flip a coin for one of them to get in the matchup. Ryan and Nick Nemeth, both of them got individuals in the matchup. The Rascals went in all at the same time. They were all counted as the number 10 entrant.
Could you imagine if WWE did this with the Shield? Like at the Royal Rumble number 27, all 3 just came out and they got us one.
This is why I can't with TNA. I can't. So BDE and the Rascals, they give a quadruple super kick to Francis. He's eliminated. Big pop for that. Then you get Danny Luna who comes out. I thought she was one of the most impressive in this match. She starts giving out German suplexes to every member of the Rascals and BDE. You get Williams then gives Luna a running knee. And out next is Eric Young. Eric Young's in at number 12. Williams goes at it with his former Northern Armory leader until they're out on the apron, and Young gives him a low blow and then a power driver on the apron. I was like, dude, you could have just pushed him over. You low blowed him. You did not need to power drive him. That was like insult to injury. Jake Something is in at number 13. He starts bum rushing people and he eliminates BDE. You get Rosemary in at number 14. Miguel and Alexander are both out. And then the hometown man is in at number 15. Rosemary gives the miss to Jake Something by accident, and he's gone. Then we get the FBI Zach Clayton of Jersey Shore fame alongside Little Guido. He's out next at number 16. Luna tosses Rosemary and gets eliminated by Hometown Man, as the fans approve of that one. Then you get Jody Threat in at number 17. But cue Frankie Kazarian, who shows up out of nowhere and blasts Jody Threat, clotheslining her as she's running around the ring, which apparently you could just do now. And now he's in the matchup, even though the authority figure is right there, right there. He just said, I don't know, I got Suka being the matter, blah, 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 blah. And then he talks to the referee, and then apparently the referee sends a message to the truck that Santino is now in the matchup at number 18. Instead of Santino getting in the ring and eliminating Frankie Kazarian, which seems to be the only point of why he would insert himself into this ridiculous, stupid-ass matchup that I have had to sit through already, he instead puts a cobra on his hand and delivers the cobra to Frankie. Frankie falls through the top and middle rope, and you already knew at that point, I was like, okay, Frankie's going to be at the end. Great. Angela, thanks for letting me know way before this match is over. So yeah, then you get him, he knocks him silly. Then Morella does his Royal Rumble 2009 flashback as he gets into the ring, and Nick Nemeth immediately eliminates him. Matt Cardona's in at 19. He eliminates Clayton and throws Little Guido over the top rope, but he gets jumped by the Nemeths. Mance Warner comes out with a zombie entrance. He grabs a chair and he starts cleaning house. Cardona breaks that up, leaving Young and Hometown Man to tease eliminations. Young low blows Hometown Man, but he gets eliminated by Cardona. Warner is gone as well, as he's eliminated by Cardona. Then the Nemeths go after Cardona. It seems like it's 3-on-1 at this point. Nick kicks Ryan out by accident, but Warner gets back at Cardona by throwing him over the top rope despite being eliminated. Then it leaves Kazarian to get back into the ring as it's Nemeth and Kazarian left. They are the last two. The referee gets bumped early on, so Kazarian's roll-up doesn't get counted. Nick's super kick gets a delayed near fall from a second ref as they go up to the top rope. They immediately hit a superplex, and literally, when that second ref came in to count the near fall, I was like, they're doing a double pin spot. It's quite obvious they're doing a double pin spot. Referee's in the ring, they're going to do a double pin spot. Why are they doing a double pin spot? Please don't let them do the stupid thing of both men win the Call Your Shot gauntlet. TNA did the stupid thing. They had both men win the Call Your Shot gauntlet. Instead of just restarting the damn matchup. That's definitely a Call Your Shot gauntlet. It went 31 minutes. And the wrestling from like the Rascals, BDE, Jake Something, Danny Luna, Legging Lee, Marshade, that was all fine and dandy. Nick Nemeth looked good at points. Cardona looked good at points. Mance Warner was good. This match sucked, though. This was a dud. This was a dud. This is with this ending as well. For all of this, and then that ending. This is a dud. This is one of the worst matches I think I've ever seen, because I just felt like I felt like my intelligence was being insulted by watching this. There were so many logic holes and just stupid decisions made in this matchup, and then they topped it off with the stupidest of them all, a tie in a call your shot gauntlet. A gauntlet that doesn't come down to one man throwing the other over the top rope, where, then you would have to start the whole match over. What's the logic in that? That was the logic that they used back in 1994 when Bret Hart and Lex Luger won the Royal Rumble. There is no logic when this match comes down to a singles match. You could just restart the matchup. The authority figure that was in the fucking matchup is right there. And his decision is not to restart the match. It is to say, hi, da, 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 da. And then their explanation, they didn't even really explain what that means. Two people holding a call your shot gauntlet. Do they have to call their shot at the same time? Can one call their shot and the other gets to keep the trophy to call their shot later? We don't know because they don't know. They made it. This is how the meeting went. There was Tommy Dreamer. He's sitting at the front. He's like, guys, what are we going to do for the call your shot gauntlet this year? And one idiot in the room, probably Tommy himself or Carlos Silva or Delirious, I don't know who's the idiot, but somebody raised their hand and says, how about we do a tie? And Tommy Dreamer's like, that's new. That's innovative. They've never seen that before. You're a jackass, Tommy Dreamer. You've been a jackass. That's why Raven whooped your ass so many goddamn times. You got CTE and you're trying to book something. It don't make sense because your life don't make sense.
Especially with Santino. He hated Frankie. Why would you give Frankie the call your shot gauntlet? Like, you should have just been like, oh, no, fuck this guy. Like, we have to restart the match. That would give more fuel to whatever this Frankie and Santino rivalry is. Like, why the fuck do we have this? Like, this has been an ongoing TNA, like, rivalry that they've been trying to build, man. And, yeah, this match sucked. Like, normally, like, Battle Royals, Royal Rumble type, Casino Gauntlet matches I like. You get entrances and all this other shit. I couldn't recognize anyone's theme music. I just did not care. No one came out, and like besides the one girl you talked about, the one who was doing all the suplexes. She was a highlight for me of the match. That was the only time I was like, wow, this girl's good. Everything else, I was just like, AJ Francis comes in and is being booked like 2001 Kane. Like, what the fuck are we doing there? Like, why?
With that. I like AJ.
I like it. It's just so random because I thought he was going to be the monster in this match, and then when all the Rascals came in, that's when the match really dipped for me because I was just like, wait a minute, like all three of these asshats just to get to come into the ring, all three of them. I like them. I like the Rascals. Don't get me wrong, but why is all three of them there and no big entrant? Like, where the fuck is Joe Hendry? Did he go to Australia with WWE? Did I miss something? Is he doing something like
he is a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
He fighted it.
Yeah, like where was he at? He was not around and stuff. Like Jose said, not even a single NXT talent. Like, you couldn't force like one random NXT wrestler where like Tavion Heights, you couldn't get him like some ring time in here or something. Like, that would have been great. Imagine if Oba Femi comes out and he won this. That would have been sick. I'd have been like, the fans would have popped. It would have been great. No, whatever. It's this nothing. And Mance Warner getting 20 has like the biggest advantage with the steel chair. I'm thinking, oh, Mance Warner's going to win this thing, right? No, he looks like the biggest loser out of everyone in this match.
The big pay-per-view entrance with the zombies and everything, and he loses like 6 minutes later.
Yeah, he has the steel chair. He's cleaning house. It's like, oh yeah, like this is the good heel heat. What an asshole. He's taking advantage of a stipulation. Good stuff. And then it's like, nope, here's our two biggest heels. Main event Frankie and Nick Nemeth in our Lord's Year 2025. You combine the age of Javon Evans and Leon Slater. They're both younger than these two. It's so call your shot. And then they both win. Some Russo this is what I expect from 2017 TNA Russo. Not 2025. Rebrand, be excited. Now the call your shot is owned by Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth. And like you said, they didn't explain anything to us. How does it work? Do they both have to have the trophy? Are they getting their individual trophy? Do they both have to announce a cash in at the same time? No, nothing. They're both the winners. I don't get it. I I was like, TNA did it. They know how to make you just question their booking. LOL TNA. It's the greatest gift of them all. Like, 12 days of LOL TNA. It's just never fails.
I just don't. Like, yeah, the crowd booed the ending.
Oh, they hated this.
They hated this ending. They booed the crap out of this. They got booed out the building for the stupidity. Because, like, oh my god. At least when WWE did it with the Royal Rumble, it was two baby faces.
Yeah.
It was two baby faces, so the crowd had to choose who they liked more. And that was the whole thing. That was the whole reason Vince did it, because he had two top baby faces and he couldn't decide who he wanted to put over more. This is just him, two guys that probably Mike Santana will beat barely an inconvenience.
Mm-hmm. Build the future.
They have who is their future outside of like Leon Slater? That's what I want to know. Who's their future outside of Leon Slater?
Nick Nemeth.
They don't look that bright outside of Leon Slater. Because Mike Santana ain't gonna be here that long. Leon Slater ain't gonna be here that long. But I'll give you him. But who's here that's gonna be holding down TNA in 5 to 6 years? That's what I'm.
Hometown man. He got this. He's gonna Jake something. He seems like he's just always there.
Jake something's never gonna get pushed. He looks like a star. He acts like a star. He works like a star, and he just never gets a push.
He's their Wardlow. Like, you're just kind of waiting. You're just like, when's it gonna happen? And it's never gonna happen. We just gotta let it go.
Yeah, I do agree. BDE looked good. I said that. I said BDE.
Oh, maybe
and the Rascals. They were like the best wrestlers, and Danny Luna. They were the best wrestlers.
Maybe as BDE, maybe they tell him, hey, stop making these WWE videos. Be a full-time TNA content creator. And then BDE's like, you guys don't pay me as much as YouTube does, and WWE invites me to the 2K stuff. So I'm good.
I'm good, guys. But I'll do your matchup.
I'll do your match.
Do you print some star power? Don't worry. But then we get highlights of Showdown where Team TNA lost to NXT's woman. And then we get Kalani Jordan defending the TNA Knockouts World Championship against Indy Hartwell. Kalani making her first defense. She grabs a headlock early on before sweeping the leg for a 2 count. A backslide gives Jordan 2, and then they get to a standoff. Jordan drop kicks Indy down, but misses a big kick to the head, leaving Indy down for a breather. Hartwell gets set into the corner for a springboard leg drop to give Jordan a 2 count. Jordan then cuts off a springboard out of midair for a spine buster, does Indy. We get a chin lock with the double knees to the back, but Jordan's able to elbow her way free. They slug it out for a bit before Jordan cartwheels into a back elbow. She then does a split stunner and grabs a half lion tamer with the knee to the back, which looked brutal for Indy. That's escaped. Eventually, Indy muscles her up for a sit-out powerbomb that did not look pretty at all. Jordan kicks her right in the head and then drops her with a big splash for a 2 count. Hartwell manages to trip her on the apron, followed by a running big boot. Back in, they trade roll-ups. Then she hits Hurt's donut, but she's not able to get the 3 count as Kalani gets her foot on the rope. Kalani avoids a top rope elbow drop and kicks her right in the head once again. She then hits the one-of-a-kind split-legged moonsault for the 1-2-3. Kalani Jordan retains the TNA Knockouts World Championship. This match did not get much of a reaction from this crowd. They very much were not into it. Did not feel like the big, Indy she's right on the cusp and the fans are going to rally behind her to take the title back for TNA. Did not get any bit of that. Did not get any bit of emotion from her family being in the front row. I thought that the Kalani looked good. Indy, I just don't think she's a very good
She sucks. She's terrible.
She's not a good pro wrestler. I think that she's got charisma. She's an entertaining character.
What charisma? Where? I didn't see it in this match at all. Her face looks the same.
In backstage segments, she shows some charisma, some character. But yeah, it's not much. The match itself, I give it 2 stars. What did you?
I hate Indy Hartwell. I just want this robot needs to leave wrestling. This is literally, you know, when they show that meme of the robot running, that's Indy Hartwell. She's a robot. Her face doesn't change. She doesn't do like, come on guys, get up or anything. Nothing. She's just this the whole time. This stupid fucking.
It's like all the charisma that she might have. It seeps out of her body as soon as she steps in the ring.
It's like nothing. Like nothing. Like no. Kalani gets a put on the Hurts donut. She just sits there. Okay, time for the next spot. It's like no. Show that you're show that you're upset. Show something. Show some emotion. No, this robot just doesn't do any of that. Like it's just not programmed to be anything good in the ring. Or like if she shows some emotion, okay, the match is a little bit more passable. Like poor Kalani Jordan. She's like, I don't know how to be a ring general. Like I'm still new to this. I got to be a ring general to this woman that has been doing this for a long time,
longer than me.
Yeah, like it's just ridiculous how bad Indy Hartwell is. And look, I don't want it. I hate being mean to wrestlers. I really do. Like people think that this is like this is what we want to do as content creators. We want to trash on them and shit on. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do this. But someone has to tell her. Like someone has to call Johnny Gargano. Call someone. Learn to get fucking better. You are someone that has a look, that has a following, that has potential. That's one thing most wrestlers don't have is fucking potential. Potential is rare for a lot of wrestlers. You have this, and you're wasting your potential because you're not even trying to improve or get better.
Potential, and she hasn't got much better.
Exactly. Like this is like why when people get mad that Swerve and freaking Osprey are like, oh, you have to prove yourself before you can go to AEW and stuff. Yeah, this is why. Because imagine Indy Hartwell in AEW right now. She would fucking be horrendous. Like this would be like one of those where I'm like, good. I'm glad Tony Khan's not booking this woman because she's not improving. She just sucks. And like I said, I hate doing this. I really do. I've trained. I've done bumps. I've done a match or two. I know how hard it is to do this. But you are someone that gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and you keep pissing it away with these piss-ass performances. This is like, if I just watch the pay-per-views, this is the third pay-per-view in a row where I've seen you put on a piss-ass performance. And one of them was when you were the special guest referee. You weren't even fucking wrestling, and you sucked at that. You had a horrible match with Tessa Blanchard. You had a piss-poor performance as a special guest referee in the TNA Knockout title match. And then this match right here with Kalani Jordan, which shouldn't be hard. You should know it's like, hey, Kalani, just do some fun flippy shit. I'll do the technical stuff. It'll be good. We'll pass by. No, you don't do anything. You brought your family out. You don't even have a moment where you go to your family and you scream in front of them and they're like, yeah, let's go.
Why would you tell them to come out if you're going to lose?
Yeah, and you bring them to Massachusetts out of all people. Like, oh, I hear that the crab here is good. Like, let's go watch the Patriots game. Like, I hate this woman right now. It's just like, it's so frustrating because it's just so frustrating, man. It's like, you should be so much better. Like, what happened? Did that knee injury that you suffered, did that create some kind of tick in you? Did you just like all of a sudden, like you just weren't good after that? Like,
I mean, we got to go back and watch pre-knee injury Indy Hartwell and see if she was that good before. Because
maybe it was just Candice LeRae was hiding all the shit. Like she was
I think it's because they put her in the way, and the way allowed her to be a character on TV every week without stepping in the ring every week.
Yeah,
I think that was the key to her getting over the way she did in NXT, which led her to finally win the NXT Women's Championship back at WrestleMania weekend in 2023.
Yeah.
And Jose saying the same thing, saying any idea of Indy's potential went away the second she won the NXT Women's Championship, got hurt, called up, and then released.
Yeah. You know, because people were so upset when WWE released her. Oh, released Indy Hartwell and stuff. And now it's just like, yeah, I see why they released her. Like, this is Bound for Glory. This is the TNA. Well, I'm going to call it the NXT Knockouts Championship because it's all NXT wrestlers wrestling for this damn belt, anyways. It's not. It's a new belt for NXT at this point. Like none of the TNA wrestlers actually wrestle for this belt, and the one TNA wrestler that can't wrestle for this belt, she's in hot water. So we don't even know if she's ever going to show up again. So
it is true.
I mean, what like what? Oh, Kalani Jordan versus Jakara Jackson, aka Mara Sade. Cool, perfect. I've seen this match maybe on NXT Level Up or something like. Just Indy Hartwell frustrated me in this match. And like I said, I hate shitting on wrestlers, but like when you're put in prime positions, I expect you to perform at prime positions. Like I don't expect you to, like, if Brunson Reed did this with Roman Reigns, I would be upset at Brunson Reed. This is Indy Hartwell. This is someone that, like you said, got 2 contracts based off her potential, not living up to it. It's just like, dude, like, what are you, Andrew Wiggins? Like, how many times do I have to see you just put up 20 points a game, and then until I see that you actually care about the game? Like, when is that 1 year of the Warriors Andrew Wiggins going to show up in you, Indy Hartwell? What are you going to show up and make an all-star team?
I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but
That's never happening.
wouldn't hold my breath on that one. I think we may have a run in here, it seems, as we see he is finally done with his excursion at Comic-Con. The true Chaw Josh has decided to pop in
Josh
here.
is here
How are you doing, Josh?
What's up? What's up? We're not gonna talk about how fantastic TNA is.
Not right now. Not at this moment. We lost you there for a second, SP3, but
Yeah.
I think you're back.
Yeah, no, I pressed the wrong button on my laptop and it went into sleep mode. So
Oh, shit.
I was trying to turn it up because I couldn't hear Josh at first, and I pressed the wrong button. So that was my fault. But yes, glad to have you, Josh. Anything you want?
But yes, glad to have you, Josh.
Anything you want to mention from the first half of the show?
It was a show. I'll tell you that much. That's the best way I could say. That call your shot bullshit was just, I don't know. That shit was a mess for me. Especially that finish of it. I mean, there's a lot of bad finishes in the show. I'll tell you that much. But man, there's a lot of fuckery on that. The Tessa match, I thought it was just a waste of time. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much where we're at. That's how I feel about the first half. Well, where you guys are at? You guys are at the women's match, the title match.
No, we just finished the women's title match. We're at the Hardcore War now. So
The women's title match.
Yeah. Anything you want to mention from their match?
Yeah, even the women's title match was like, I mean, it wasn't that great. I mean, Indy. I mean, I kind of agree with Chase, where it's like I think she's very likable, but it's like we're waiting for something. And I just don't.
Just getting frozen for you. Oh,
Yeah, he froze for me for a bit. I think Indy Hartwell is hacking into the stream. Her robot power. She's trying to make sure we can't trash her anymore.
Oh,
like,
let me switch my Wi. Let me switch my Wi-Fi. I'll switch my Wi-Fi.
No,
I might freeze up again, but I'm gonna switch my Wi-Fi. Let me see that.
No worries. We'll talk about the Hardcore War next.
Oh, baby.
The System versus Order 4. I've been talking about it a lot lately when we talk about these pay-per-view reviews, where you have like the turning point matchup, the match where the kind of the pay-per-view turns for the better. And I think this was it for this show, where we started to get some good on the show with this matchup here. Hardcore War is basically a war games without a cage. Starts off with 2 competitors. Every minute, a competitor from each team will join the field. Order 4 had the numbers advantage in the matchup, so they start off the matchup with Jason Hodge for the team. He starts it off with Eddie Edwards for the System, and we basically saw the theme right from the start of the matchup where Eddie Edwards come out in full Boston Celtics paraphernalia. While the System's Jason Hodge is wearing tights that are purple and gold. So I was like, oh, okay. I get what you're going here. We get those two guys starting it out. Then you get John Schuyler. He joins the field for Order 4. JDC joins the field for the System. He hits a big dive to the floor to take out both members of Order 4. Then you get Tasha Steelz coming down in a Yankees jersey, which got a lot of heat from the Boston fans. Alicia Edwards is next out for the System. They start going at it with one another. The System got busted open. John Schuyler something mean and fierce. They started scraping his face with a cheese grater. Then you get a staple gun where they start stapling each member of the Order 4. They staple John Schuyler in the head. They staple Jason Hodge in the balls and Tasha Steelz in the ass. You get next. Zero is out next. Agent Zero joins the field and he starts dominating. He just tossing all the System guys around. Myers is next out. He comes out with a trash can lid and he starts going after guys. Then you get Mustafa Ali. He comes out as Order 4 has the System's Alicia Edwards all surrounded. Finally, Moose comes out for the System, and he comes in. He clears the ring. Zero and Moose start going at it. Moose drop kicked a chair to his face. Moose is sent outside, and Zero impresses everybody with this ridiculous big Undertaker dive onto the pile of stars in the matchup. Alicia Edwards then dumps a bag of thumbtacks on the mat. But Agent Zero is here, and you get the spot of the matchup where Agent Zero commits murder on Alicia Edwards with a choke bomb into the thumbtacks. Eddie Edwards tries to fight him off, only to be taken out himself. Myers and JDC start swinging kendo sticks, but he just shrugs that off. Moose comes in. He hits one spear. Then he grabs the chain that he brought to the ring. He hits a second spear with the chain around his shoulder, basically taking himself out of the matchup. You get Myers and JDC. They do dives onto the great hand, so they're out of it. Alicia Edwards is down. She's dead to rights. So Mustafa Ali brings in another bag of tacks. He pours that bag of tacks onto Alicia, and he goes up top rope for the 450 splash. Alicia rolls out of the way, and Mustafa Ali takes a sick bump, a 450 bump into thumbtacks. Eddie Edwards takes advantage of this. He wraps barbed wire around his knee. He hits the Boston knee party. 1, 2, 3. The System. Make sure they stake the claim as the best faction in TNA with a victory over Order 4 here. This match started off slow, but it just built and built and built. It got better with each person getting involved, with the weapons that they got involved. They saved the big spot with the choke bomb onto the thumbtacks at the end. Alicia Edwards out here doing her best Powerpuff Girls impersonation, trying to prove that she can be hardcore by taking that bump. Agent Zero, I thought looked very impressive here in his first real showing in the ring, and the System to get the win in the end. So I thought everybody came off well here. Mustafa Ali, always one of the best in TNA, and he delivered another really good matchup on a pay-per-view. I gave this 3 3/4 stars. By this point, definitely the match of the night so far. Chase.
Oh, this was so fun. I enjoyed this match very heavily. Agent Zero, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but please get out, TNA. Find a way to get out of your contract. Go to Performance Center. Go to AEW. I don't care if Tony Khan won't book you because you're big. I need you somewhere else, buddy. You're going to be wasted. Alicia Edwards, another MVP in this match. Like, wow, she took some cool spots in this match. Mustafa Ali, probably one of the best wrestlers right now in terms of like character work and stuff. Like, he is so good right now. He's just on he's operating at a different level. It's just, he's so good. Like, he's not, like, one of the things I've seen a lot on debate on Twitter, like, people are like, heels that just do stuff to be cool, to get crowd reaction. This guy wants to be hated. Like, he just doesn't, you don't want to like this guy. And like, as a hardcore wrestler, I like the work that he's doing, but like, sometimes I'll turn on the casual hat. I'm like, dude, this guy's such a piece of shit. I fucking hate him. Like, I love how good he is at being so slimy and narc. So when he went through the thumbtacks, I love that spot because I was just like, fuck yeah, man. Like, fuck you and stuff. Eddie Edwards, you're such a carny. Why are you celebrating the win? Help your fucking wife. Your wife is outside. Moose and Brian Myers are helping out. And you're just like, yeah, we won this System. Like, carny as fuck. But other than that, loved and enjoyed what this match was for this pay-per-view. Like, not a great match, but what this pay-per-view needed. This felt like a Bound for Glory, Monsters Ball, hardcore type match we would always get every year for Bound for Glory. Lived up to that expectation. So good stuff from TNA here. No complaints, actually. Wow.
First time on the show, you're absolutely right. First time on the show that it felt like a blow off to a rivalry, like what should happen at your biggest show of the year. So I agree. Josh, what did you think about Hardcore War?
I thought it was good for what it was. You know, you need some violence, you need some clusterfucks. That's what we got in the match, and I thought like some people showed up. I thought Agent Zero showed up. I thought Alicia Edwards showed up. You know, and I thought to an extent Mustafa Ali even. You know, especially taking that spot, doing that 450 missing, but he took the spot. You know, he did it. But overall, I mean, you know, the job, you know, the match did its job. That's what you kind of wanted. That you wanted kind of a blow off to you know, two stables that have been going at each other. There's not much you can really ask for from TNA. This is probably, like you said, I think at this point where it was like, wow, we finally got something that has like a great a decent finish at least. That's
we were at that point of the show where we were just wanting a decent finish to one of these damn matches.
Something enjoyable to watch.
But you would get back to the bad finishes next, but it would come in the form of what I think by far is the best match of this damn show. It's the X Division Championship matchup. Leon Slater defending against WWE NXT's Javon Evans. They stare down at each other to start, and the fans are rather pleased about this matchup with big dream match, holy shit chants. They finally lock up with Slater taking the challenger down, offering some polite applause. Evans takes him into the corner for a quick stare down. You get each of them kind of teasing the other, where they fake a kick or a punch, and the other kind of ducks or hesitates, and they basically make fun of each other with that. So you could see like the youthful exuberance and humor that they have. Evans can't get a standing moonsault, so Slater small packages him for a 2. A running shoulder puts Slater on the floor for a quick suicide dive, only for Slater to come back with a crossover splash. Then you get Slater chops away, but gets caught with a springboard clothesline by Evans. Evans gets kicked down, and a handspring elbow knocks him right back down again. Slater's slingshot cutter gets a 2 count. They head out to the apron where Evans is back up with a kick to the head. Another slingshot cutter, the OG cutter, is countered into a DDT, and he hits that with on Slater. Evans then follows up with the OG cutter on the apron, where he lands nasty on like the side of the apron, which really had to hurt. Back in, you get Evans, who hits a heck of a frog splash halfway across the ring. Then another 5-star frog splash, and he gets a 2 count for that. Slater is back up and hits a running sidekick, only to get caught with a Hurricane Rana for a near fall. Slater manages to hit a neck breaker and then a springboard out of the air. When Evans goes for the OG cutter, Slater catches him in midair with the neck breaker this time, and the fans go crazy for that. Evans hits his OG cutter, and he gets a 2 count. They both got up. They both crash down to the floor before Evans knocks him into the crowd. Naturally, you get Slater is right up with a dive. They start brawling and start trying to make their way back into the ring when the referee sounds and says it's been a 20-minute time limit draw. So it was going to a draw. The fans were not pleased with that at all. You had to let them fight chants, bullshit chants. The fans were pissed at that. Then you get Santino Marella. He comes out. He tries to babyface the company, and he says, 5 more minutes. So we get the big applause. You think they're going to get like the big crescendo. I didn't even mention one of the best spots of the matchup is where you get like this subverting of expectations where they're exchanging chops and strikes with each other. And Leon Slater puts his arms behind his back and tells Evans to chop him. And Evans, out of nowhere, the crowd gets quiet. and he just hits him with the cutter, and then hits the OG cutter. It's the best spot of the whole entire matchup. They start just going ham in the extra period. The bell rings. Evan kicks him down for a 2 count, but Slater is back up. He hits a Utopia. That means the big flip dive to the outside for Evans, only for big flip dive to the outside for Slater, excuse me. Then Evans comes back with a Spanish fly off the top rope. Both men are down. The lights go out, and the match is ruined. Because Dark State is here. I mean, Dark State is here. Dion Lennox, Cutler James, Osiris Griffin, and Saquon Sugars all attack Evans and Slater. You get the triple power bombs for the quadruple power bomb to both men. Man, how did TNA manage to piss off their fans with 2 finishes like this on one night? One night with 2 finishes that get bullshit chants and get booed out the building because it's beyond stupidity. Why not just let the 2 young guys go out there and steal the show? Javon Evans, who just lost at Heatwave in August in the main event to Obafemi, who just lost to Josh Briggs on an episode of NXT, who just lost to Leon Slater on Tuesday, you nincompoops. He can't lose here. You gotta have Dark State. Dark State's gonna get the heat for the company. They're the ones that deserve the heat, not the company. No, the company are dumbasses. This was a dumb finish, and they are fucking idiots. Josh, what did you think? I thought the match was excellent. I want to give the match 4.5 stars. Evans and Slater were the best 2 performers, best 2 wrestlers on this damn show, and it's a disservice to them both that TNA gave them that finish.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. This was easily, spoiler alert, easily the match of the night for me. Both guys, they were great. And I think we kind of knew this going into it once it was announced. We're just like, oh shit, like, Slater and Evans is gonna cook, right? And that's what they did. No fault to the kids at all. They did what they were supposed to do. Then, obviously the time limit draw, adding 5 more minutes, and then that bullshit happens as a bullshit finish. I mean, that's TNA for you, to a T. No pun intended. It didn't need to happen. It really did not need to happen. I mean, it's just, I don't know. What the fuck was that? I'm just like, for that, if you're gonna add more time, and then that was gonna be I should have just never gotten to 5 more minutes. Like, if that's what you're gonna do, just leave it at the draw. People are gonna be pissed off, but at least it was a draw. Instead, you added more time, and then you gave us a shit sandwich at the end. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
Just don't understand. Like, why do that? And I wasn't referring to No Mercy, Ace. He lost to Josh Briggs before he beat him at No Mercy, because he can't just beat somebody. He has to only get his win back because they don't book him like a top guy. So you can obviously have him lose here.
Yeah.
Chase, what did you think?
This is the best and worst of TNA. You get the great in-ring action. This is what you expect from TNA. This is what you expect from the X Division. And then you get the horrible fucking finishes. Not just 1, but 2 horrible finishes. Like the draw, okay, passable. This is fine if this is on Turning Point, TNA Genesis. Sure, fine, I'll take it. I'll be mad that it happened, but I'm not going to be upset. But this is bound for fucking glory. This is your biggest show of the year, and this is what you do. Can you imagine if Gunther and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title ended like this, where it's like, oh, there's a draw, and then afterwards, like, Gunther and Sami Zayn like are get 5 more minutes, and then Retribution comes out and costs them out. Like this is what it was like. It was fucking god awful. Like, this ending made no sense. Who cares? They're both 21. They're gonna lose matches. It's okay. One of them can lose. Hey, look, if Javon Evans would have won the X Division title, I would have been as pissed as other TNA, because, like, at least I know, oh, Javon Evans, he fits well with the exhibition scene. He's going to do other matches. It's going to be a fine. And then later on, it would add more to Leon Slater being the future because Tom Phillips, Tom Hannafin, whatever the fuck his name is, kept saying a gajillion times on commentary, this is the heart and soul of TNA, the X division. If we lose this belt, that would have been a good story of, oh, we can't lose that. We're like TNA world title, sure, we lose that belt. Knockout title, whatever. The X division, we lost the belt that represents TNA the most. Holy shit. And now Leon Slater has to be the true savior of TNA. And this could have been a main event at one of your stupid PPVs. Leon Slater and Javon Evans and like Iron Man or something. No! Instead, we got to build up a tag match for Leon Slater and Javon Evans to take on Dark State. Why would I want to see this? This is not going to make me tune into Halloween Havoc to see this. What, to see Ricky Saints and whoever the fuck he's going to wrestle, Trick Williams most likely, and this? No, this is terrible. Terrible fucking booking. Great match on its own. Great match. Loved it. But I can't suggest this to anyone. I can't tell someone to watch this. They ruined two good spots that I loved. When Leon Slater caught Javon Evans midair for that neck breaker and matched his height, holy shit, that was amazing. And then when Javon Evans said, fuck your test of strength, the cutter, the OG cutter, fuck yes. Tired of this. Javon Evans said, oh my God, no. I love and hate this match at the same time because it's what I love about TNA wrestling's in-ring action, what should be the X division, and then they do a little TNA shit. Not once but twice. This is mind-blowing. And Santino, like, I thought Santino was going to come out and be like, they're both X Division champions because it's a draw.
Oh, my God.
Be consistent or something. I don't know. It's just like, man, this just felt like you were about to have sex with a girl and you thought you were going to go all in. And then she keeps pulling out. Like, she keeps saying, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm not doing this. And then finally, like, she's like, oh, I'm going to run to the restroom. And you're like, sick. Okay. Like, I'm still hard. Let's go. And then she just ends up leaving your place. And you're just like, wait, did she just, I thought she was using the restroom. That's what it felt like. Yeah, she left. And I'm just here and I'm like blue balled. Like, that's how I felt. I felt blue balled watching this. Like, I just wanted a nice clean finish. Like, especially with the 5 minutes, them just spamming their moves and shit. Great near falls. That would have been great. No one would have been hurt from this. Javon Evans doesn't need to be protected. Like, what are we doing? I don't care about no tag team match with Dark State. These guys suck. They can't even get a tag match. Whatever.
I mean, did you see Tuesday? Well, why do we need a tag team match with these guys?
We don't need a tag team match with these guys. Yeah,
they could barely wrestle Hank and Tank. Hank and Tank are not even that bad, and you can barely wrestle those two idiots.
Speaking of their opponents from last Tuesday, they were up next here in our next matchup, but we should first mention Chris Bay came out at this point to announce that Bound for Glory had set the new attendance record in North America for TNA. 7,796, I believe, was the number.
Anniversary.
Huh?
What about Slammiversary? I thought that was their biggest.
They passed it. They surpassed it.
Cap.
Hey, they had to get nearly 2,000 tickets sold in one day. Because at 10 a.m. Eastern, they were at 6,000 tickets sold. So they had to sell 1.7 thousand.
I saw BD and his friend handing out free tickets outside. So okay, so this is kind of related. I remember when TNA was doing their California loop, they were struggling to sell tickets so bad that like you could go to like a car dealership in California and you get free tickets just by visiting the car dealership. So I went there, not needing a new car, just because I wanted the free TNA tickets.
Very nice. All right, but next, like I said, is the TNA and NXT Tag Team Championship matchup. One final table. Team 3D, Bubba Ray, and Devon, who come out. They're escorted out by Brother Runt, Little Spike Dudley. He comes out with the gang, brings them to the ring. You get the Hardys coming out. They bring out a ladder and they leave it in the entranceway. We get a long stare down with all the men staring down with one another as we get ready for the hardcore war. You get Jeff, who charges early, but he misses. They take down him and hit him with the 3D through the table to take him out almost immediately in this one. They hit the what's up on Jeff to make it worse after hitting the 3D on him. Then you get the tables are brought in again. We get a 3D we get a regular 3D to Matt, then a 3D through the table on Jeff. Then we get the brothers working over Devon in the entranceway. They put him on 2 tables, but they put him on the far table. That was the issue here. They put him on the far table after Matt hits him with the twist of fate on the floor. We get the running elbow. He hits him with chairs. Jeff climbs this large, ridiculous 20-foot ladder, and he does it. Nearly 25 years later, hits the swanton off the top of the ladder, through Devon, through the table. Jeff nearly cracks his head on the ladder because he gets no air whatsoever, and he goes through the first table that Devon's not on. Oh my God, I was just like, God damn, I hope these guys are going to be able to walk when they're
Jeff couldn't after that spot, bro. He definitely they should have put him in concussion protocol after he did that ladder.
Yo, he was loopy the whole rest of the matchup. The Hardys beat on Ray the rest of this matchup. They hit him with some chairs. They hit the twist of fate and the swanton. Ray is able to get up. He pulls himself up on a table. He looks at the Hardys and he accepts his fate as the Hardys put him through one final table, and they win this one final table match to retain the TNA and NXT Tag Team Championships. For as bad as this match could have been, it wasn't. I will give them that. I thought that they worked around their limitations. The fact that Devon can barely move, that Bubba Ray is probably the fastest mover in this matchup, that Jeff and Matt have like wear and tear beyond belief in their bodies. They worked around all of that, and they took you on like a fun little nostalgic ride, gave you the spots you come to expect, the 3D through the table, the swanton through off the ladder, then the one final table at the end. The finale, the ending of this matchup felt a little too drawn out, a little too over dramatic, if you ask me, but it was fine for what it was. I give it 2 3/4 stars. This was better than expected. I could just give it that. I thought this would be a dud, and it wasn't that. Post match, you get a special moment as the Hardys raise up the titles, and then Team 3D decide to take off their boots. They hand their boots to the Hardys. The Hardys take it. They hug. They all embrace in the ring. They raise each other's hands, and they hug as the Team 3D take one final farewell walk down the aisle, and they say farewell to the fans as they have officially retired from in-ring competition. Team 3D, probably not the Dudleys. The Dudleys will be back if they pay enough money in 2027 for WrestleMania 43. But Team 3D is no more. What did you think about one final table, Chase?
I was laughing during the whole match. It was so sad to see these 4 men just go out there and try to relive the glory days. The final spot was hilarious. Bubba trying to act like he's Ric Flair, saying, "Don't come on, Sean, give it to me," and stuff. And he's just standing there. And Matt and Jeff, they're just like, Jeff's concussed at this point. Matt's like, "I love you," and then just throw him through the table. Yeah, it was there. It existed in a vacuum. Will I ever go back and watch this? No. I'll watch the post-match again. The post-match was actually good. I liked the post-match. That was nice. But Tom Phillips and the drama king, Matt, whatever his name is, Aiden English, they were just like saying, "This is a moment in time you'll never forget. You will remember where you were at." I'm like, unless SP3 recap this match, I don't think I'll ever remember this match. I already forgot some of the spots besides Jeff totally missing Devon and hitting his head on the ladder. That's the only thing I remember from this match and the finish. But yeah, this was rough. This was a rough watch for me. But like you said, it wasn't a complete disaster, which was good for these guys for their age. So not the best unction match though. AJ and Cena, no. they out-unked you guys.
They out-unked. I would even say freaking Edge and Christian at All Out against FTR. They out-unked ya. They out-unked ya.
Edge and Christian, these guys ain't the way they're moving. They don't look like unks at all. These guys are still. Cope is on a high level wrestling still. Christian's on a high. Like I don't think they're unks yet. They're almost there. They're unks in terms of their age, but in the ring, both those guys still can go. Like I trust Christian enough. I mean, AEW trusts Christian. They gave him 2 world title matches, so he's good. He's still
Not sure. Josh, what did you think about one final table?
I mean, I do agree with Sid. Where I thought it was gonna be worse, just because like we all know at this point that Devon can't really move, and you kind of saw that in the match itself. He took no bumps.
No.
And the only spot he really did was the main spot with the ladder. I mean, where Jeff jumped off the ladder, but he took no bumps in the match. Which is something I kind of expected it. Because when it was first announced, that was something that I did bring up, where I'm just like, this man literally had a stroke, and you want him to come back for one match, like one last match. I'm like, very bold. I don't know who cleared him. I mean, it's very bold of them. Guess it worked out because he was able to get back up. But yeah, I mean, the match itself, I mean, believe me, it's not DX versus Brothers of Destruction bad.
No.
So I mean, that's a plus. That's a plus for me. But I mean, it's an end of an era. These are guys that we've grown up with. Dudley Boys, the Hardy Boys, and the Hardy Boys are still going. But even with the Hardy Boys, you could kind of see that you could kind of see like their time is coming up. You can see it more by the time passes, honestly. And that's going to end up being their choice of when they decide to do it, because they could have done it a long time ago and they don't lose anything. But then now they got more belts than they had months ago. So now it's like, what did you do?
Yeah,
you got more responsibility. You're supposed to be taking time off. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, move over, Mercedes. 10 belts Hardy's coming soon.
They got they got 4 different sets of tag titles. Like, jeez, like, sheesh.
You heard of Mercedes Monet? Let me introduce you to Mercedes Hardy.
Yeah. That's a good one. No, but I mean, overall, we got what we got. A lot of people were in the building for that. There's people that I know that went for just that match, and I was just like, well, good luck to you, because I wouldn't travel to Boston just for one match, and I kind of know what I'm getting. Even though, granted, I did travel for Sting's retirement match, but that was a fun matchup. He got the main event, he got his flowers, and that was a fun ass matchup.
And the show was killer outside of that.
Yeah, this show, it's like if you were like, I'm traveling for the Hardys versus Dudleys at Bound for Glory TNA. Oh, what else is on the card? I think Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Yeah, I think those two are wrestling. I'm not sure. I didn't check the Wikipedia.
Yeah, and honestly, there's probably people who don't even know them because of they really don't follow TNA at all. There's a good chance that they didn't even know that. But besides that, I mean, like I said, man, like, kudos to them. They got it done. They finally got it done. As much as I've disliked Bully Ray the last like year or two, I didn't like that finish either. The finish itself was a little weird. They tried to be over dramatic, and it just felt flat for me. Where Bubba, I get it. I get what you were trying to do, but then just to stand there like some kind of like choach, just to stand there. I don't know. It was weird. I guess he was trying to do. Remember when Triple H did it to Undertaker, and like you could see like Triple H was done, and then he did the suck it, and then he lost the match.
Yeah,
I could kind of see like that kind of thing where it like if you used to see Bully Ray like kind of like drawn out, completely done. He just got back up, just looked at them, and just stood there, and then the Hardys are like, "Oh, what do we do?" So it was a little weird. The finish itself was weird, but overall, it by far was not the worst match.
Yeah, I think I gave like Sting and Darby versus the Young Bucks like 5 stars. Meltzer gave it like 4 3/4. This one I didn't give three stars to. So there's levels to this, and in this one, it just barely passed by. It was serviceable. Passable would be the best compliment. And then finally, it was the matchup that a lot of us were very hesitant to get excited for because we don't know what we're gonna get. They did announce at this point that Genesis is their next pay-per-view in January in Dallas. And then it was time for Mike Santana challenging Trick Williams for the TNA World title. You get the big match intros for both men. Santana got a good reaction despite being from the Bronx, which got some boos from this Boston crowd. Trick Williams got a big reaction as well. He just gets a superstar entrance and reaction every time out. He carries himself like a superstar, even with this big match intro where he takes the mic from the ring announcer and tries to give his own intro where he basically is just cutting a promo. That earns him, though, a kick to the face, and the fight is immediately on. Williams gets getting chop blocked against the barricade before the bell even rings. They go out into the crowd where Santana blocks a trash can shot and hits Williams with it instead. Santana is sent back to ringside where he drops Williams onto the apron. We then get a belt shot by Williams as he knocks Santana down through, and we get the opening bell. Williams immediately hits the trick kick for a 2 count. He then gets a neck breaker before shoving him in the face. They head outside with Santana being catapulted into the ring post where he is busted open. Williams backdrops him onto the steel steps, followed by a side kick for a 2 count. We get a front face lock of all things before it doesn't last long enough as Santana hits a Death Valley driver into the corner. Santana is able to get control at another point, but he makes the mistake of yelling at Santana's daughter, which he gets in her face and he gets slapped as a receipt. This leads to Santana diving through the ropes as he dives onto Trick. He then puts him back into the ring, hits a power bomb, but he's only able to get a 2 count. He heads up to the top rope, hits a beautiful 450 splash, but he's only able to get a 2 count once again. It's time to argue with Williams' lawyer for a bit. The distraction lets Williams come back with a release rock bottom and then a super bookend off the second rope for a 2 count. We get a quick spin the block by Santana. He hits it, but he only gets a 2 count. Williams comes back. He hits the trick shot. He only gets a 2 of his own. Santana looks over at his daughter for inspiration. He catches Trick as he goes for the trick shot again with a lariat in midair. He hits him with another spin the block, and then finally a third spin the block. 1, 2, 3. Mike Santana finally does it. He finally wins the big one. He defeats Trick Williams to become the new TNA World Champion. I thought both men did very well in this matchup. This matchup far surpassed the Slammiversary main event. That kind of like TV main event. This felt like a pay-per-view main event. It was very well worked by both guys. It was a nice mixture of Mike Santana's intensity and aggression in the ring mixed with Trick Williams' very superstar aura and charisma. And they mixed it very well, had a good energy to it. Really liked the main event. I give it 3 3/4 stars. Post-match, though, before Santana can even get the title handed to him, you got Nick Nemeth coming down with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy. He's looking to cash in. The lights go out. We hear the riff of the guitar, and Elijah is returning. He hits Nick Nemeth with the guitar, and Nick Nemeth is out of it. Then we see Frankie Kazarian is in the ring. He's trying to cash in as well, but the referee tells him that you need the Call Your Shot trophy to cash in, apparently. So Kazarian gets all confused and flustered, and it leads to him getting the spin to block as well. Santana avoids the adversity. It was basically TNA's version of the post-match of CM Punk versus John Cena from Money in the Bank 2011 because they let you down and they didn't give you the thing that you wanted at Slammiversary. That made this threat of the Call It Your Shot Gauntlet cash in a lot more realistic than it regularly would have been. So I thought it was a good choice to do it and to show that Santana could fight back against it and overcome it, and he wasn't going to be just another babyface who gets cashed in on. So, and it allowed everything to kind of become more wholesome and more sweet as we get Santana presented the title. He get his daughter coming into the ring. He hugs his daughter. He's got tears in his eyes as he hands his daughter the TNA World Championship. I said it to y'all guys in the chat. I said it on Twitter. Sometimes it's better to have the moment at all than to never have it. Like, it's better to have it late than to never have it at all. We had this moment about 3 months later than it should have happened, but at least we got it. And at least it felt special. It felt meaningful. Mike Santana completes one of the most inspirational stories, real life stories that we've seen in pro wrestling in a very long time. He is at the mountaintop, the new TNA World Champion. Josh, what did you think about the main event and Santana finally winning the big one?
It was a really solid match. I thought both guys worked well together. I do agree. I thought this was their best matchup compared to like their first matchup. So I mean, you know, in regards to that, yeah, you know, Eric Daniels working out. You know, TNA finally didn't TNA at this moment. They almost did. Just because, you know, after the fact, you know, after the match, you know, having Nick Nemeth and Kazarian show up, at least for me, you know, it was just like, why? Like, I get why, but it was just like, just give the man his moment, please. It was like, you know, but he did get his moment after the fact, but I was just like, oh my God, not this bullshit again. Like, sometimes we just don't really need it at the moment. It's like, you know, it's like, let the guy be, especially where he hasn't been, you know, with what Santana has been through. You know, like, I've known Santana for 9 years now. I've known him for 9 years. You know, I've known him since his House of Glory days, and I've known him, you know, he actually doesn't even live that far from me. You know, he lives, like, you know, so, you know, this is the guy that, you know, not only I would say, I want to say grow up with, because I mean, 9 years is 9 years, but it's somebody that I've seen grow in his career, you know, and I've seen this person go through, you know, adversity, and I've seen the struggles that he's dealt with, and he's been very open about that, you know, when it comes to his personal struggles, and it comes to being a family man and him wanting to better himself, you know. So, you know, like when he left AEW, it was to better himself, you know, and I still think he made the best decision for himself. You know, I thought TNA was a good platform for him. I've always felt that, because I thought TNA will give him the better chance that he would need. He wasn't going to get that in AEW no matter what we feel, no matter how we might view Santana. He was not going to get that in AEW. And I think sometimes you need to bet on yourself. That's exactly what he did. And, you know, ended up working out. You know, I love the moment with his daughter, just because, like, I've seen his daughter, like, you know, when she was little. See that she's mad big now. I was like, God damn. I was like, wait, what? That's his kid. I was like, what the fuck? I seen her when she was little. So, I mean, those, you know, that moment, it made it worth it. It made it, you know, you're just generally happy for the guy himself, you know, and that's how I feel. The only nitpick I have, it has nothing to do with the guys in the ring, even with the criticisms I have with Nemeth coming out, was the fact that the fans just left. What the fuck was that? You have a picture of this man holding up the fucking belt, and then you have, he's in a fucking empty arena where motherfuckers wanted to leave. Like, where you guys going?
That shit was wild. I was like, yo, they heard that bell at the end, and they like, we out.
What the fuck?
Even
like, what the
main
fuck
event.
was that? Like, come on, Boston. I mean, granted, I get it. It wasn't Dave Ortiz. It wasn't Pedro Martinez. I get it.
We don't want to see the New York Yankees celebrating the World Series. Why would we stay for that?
That's TNA's fault. Why would they book it there? They should have done that instead of anniversary. Right?
No, this match was getting empty even before, because, like, me and Romeo, when we were watching it, during Santana's entrance, we're like, did people just leave after the Hardys and the Dudleys? Like they're just like,
People
Yeah,
legit went there for the Hardys and the Dudleys.
Yeah,
And people
yeah.
left.
If you see some of the screenshots too, like when Sid was posting it up, you could see there was already seats empty.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only down part I would say about that, where it's like, damn, like he had to celebrate all that stuff in front of like, you can't fix that because there's like clear shots of it. Like, what the fuck? Like that's on the fans. That's on the fans.
Yeah.
That's nothing. Right? I can't even blame. Well, actually, no, I could blame Carlos Silva. Fuck that guy. But still, like, come on, guys. Like, TNA got the title back. Come on, stay for the man. Come on.
Nope, no time to celebrate. Please, what did you think about Santana and Trick here and the title change?
I thought the match was a really good main event level match. Shout out to Trick Williams. My one concern with Trick was like, I don't know, is this guy ever going to get it? Like, he has everything, but is he going to get it on a main event standard? Like, is he just going to be like a good mid-carder? He's improved because I said he's just an Ilya Dragunov and Obafemi merchant. Like, without those two, I can't name you a better Trick Williams match. Like, sometimes with
Javon, only faced Oba once, and it was that stupid matchup with the TNA invasion. Like the triple threat. Javon was the star of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, this guy's an Ilya merchant. Like, he just relies on Dragunov being really damn good, and like, because that Carmelo Hayes match at San Deliver, fucking Carmelo was pulling teeth.
Neither one of his Carmelo matches were good.
Yeah, Carmelo was pulling teeth with this guy. I feel like that sabotaged poor Melo's career because of that.
And then his TNA title run was not booked well at all. Like, he was, who was he facing at the? He was facing Ridge Holland.
Yeah.
And he's facing Ethan Page. Someone like Ethan Page is good. We just saw that he had one of the best matches of last week with Mustafa Ali. But there's sometimes for certain people in the WWE system, there's just some people that they just don't have any chemistry with. And it was obvious from the first match they had at Battleground that Ethan Page and Trick Williams didn't have any chemistry. So why did they feud for 3 more months?
Yeah, no,
and that was like, and then that almost kind of almost hindered Ethan Page because it was kind of like
it nearly hindered both of their runs, but really they have recovered through their current title runs. Yeah. It was Trick with the TNA World title and Page with the North American title. They've got
that. He has made a thing. Yeah, which Ethan has made a thing. Like, I like the Canadian stuff. Like, it's great for him. Something that, like he's giving like a little bit of credibility back to the title, but then also just being a heel. He's doing great stuff when it comes to that. So I'm kind of glad that's happened. But with Trick, I do agree with Chase to an extent because, Trick was one of those guys where when he first got in, there's people who hated Trick Williams. Like, even in our own like chat, like Ness could not stand that man. He wanted him gone the moment he got in.
Because he was just a mic guy. He was just a talker.
Yeah.
And when the bell rang, if you've seen him in the ring, he was like a CAW when you don't have any VC. You don't have any VC. You don't have no moves for him. All he can do is stomps and punches. That's all Trick could do in his first couple of matches. Like, he might be one of the best success stories in WWE PC history.
Obafemi is the biggest success story.
Well, and
no. Obafemi comes in as a world champion shot putter and the NIL standout.
Well,
Trick Williams came in as a guy who didn't make it in football. He's a good talker, but he can't wrestle. So we're gonna make him the sidekick of Carmelo Hayes.
That's true.
The face of NXT and the face of TNA, and one of the best talkers in all of WWE. That's the biggest success story. Yeah. To go from you're a bum, we're gonna put you because you're a good talker with this guy who's not a bum to the face of the whole brand. That's a bigger success story than Oba.
Yeah, Trick Williams. I was just impressed that he was so good in this match. Like, as a main eventer, the way he worked, I was like, oh my god, like this is really good. Because Santana, he's good, but I didn't think Santana could get this out of Trick Williams. Like, Trick Williams was really good in this match, so I gotta give Trick his props. Like, Santana, you guys said it, just a great story, overcoming addiction, becoming a champion, like a lot of things that like would bring a lot of people down in life and stuff, and especially like like just challenging himself. He could have easily just been like, all right, I'll resign with AEW, make my money. It's whatever. I'll make good money doing this. But no, he wasn't satisfied with that. He decided to take a chance, probably making less money than he did with AEW or what he was going to make. And, he's made himself into, a guy that, you can trust your company around, and especially a company that has television. And so, I don't know where it leads to his future, if he's going to stick with TNA or if, he says like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to test the WWE waters. Like, but I feel comfortable that Santana, no matter what, he'll be successful in WWE. At worst case, he has an Intercontinental title run or US title run in him. Like, that's like the worst case scenario for him.
I think worst case scenario is NXT championship.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's at least the face of NXT. He's Bobby Roode. Like, he goes to NXT, becomes champion. It doesn't work on the main roster, but hey, you can be an agent, have Michael P.S. Hayes yell at you about or Bruce Pritchard freaking out that your match is going too long on WWE Unreal Season 5. So, yeah, so there you go. But, yeah, very, very, very good main event. The only thing with the swerve, I just found hilarious. We're treating Elias like he's fucking Undertaker. Like,
yo, I was like,
oh
what are we?
God.
We're doing an Elijah return in the main event angle. You guys don't know how to assess who's a star that should be in a main event.
Yeah, man. Elijah, who at WrestleCon had no one in his line, was begging people to come. Like this guy, like, look, I get it. He had that one moment in Seattle with Kevin Owens, and they booed them out the building. He had a great catchphrase. What does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. I get it. I mean, John Cena hasn't even done a tribute for this idiot, and he's done tributes for Rusev and Baron Corbin. So what's that say?
That's how much he mattered.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know his finisher. Don't even know his entrance music. I just know he has a guitar. And I would have loved if Jeff Jarrett somehow came back and I heard My World and he did the guitar spot. And if he did the tip of the cap, the last cowboy, I would have been like, awesome. But obviously that would never happen because of the relationship. But that felt more fitting than Elias being treated like he's the Undertaker. Like him tipping the cap to Santana. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, this is no TNA legend like doing this. I would have taken
He's tipping the cap where he's never even won any type of title at all.
Yeah,
he's like tipping the top.
I would have taken Conan's fat ass.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Hitting Nick Nemeth. Yeah,
I mean, honestly, I think I would have been more offended that I'm like, who the fuck is this guy tipping the cap to me? Who the fuck is this?
Yeah, you never won no world title. Like, did you even touch a TNA tag title? Like, what have you touched?
All right, we've made it to the end of our review here for TNA Bound for Glory. Let us know in the live chat. It's final call for super chat donation. Show us some love if you appreciate the review here. And of course, if you haven't already, drop the thumbs up. But let us know in the live chat as well. Your match of the night, your moment of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give last night's show? For me, Chase, and Josh, for TNA Bound for Glory 2025 in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle across the board from all of us. Josh, out of 10, what did you give the show?
I give the show a 6.
Chase?
6 as well.
I'm the high man. I went 6.5.
Very high of you. 5.5.
This is a show of two halves. Yeah. The first half was really bad, and the second half has a really bad finish for the best match on the whole entire show. A very fun hardcore war, a good main event, and whatever one final table was. So that's about a 6.5. Half the show is at least pretty good. That's 6.5. That's a thumbs in the middle type of show. Your match of the night, Josh.
I'm still gonna go with Slater and Javon Evans.
Jace.
Slater and Javon Evans,
easily Slater and Javon Evans. MVP, Chase.
Santana. I don't think anyone else deserves it but him.
Josh.
Same. I'm gonna go with Mike Santana.
Unanimous. Mike Santana for MVP.
What about to say, damn?
No. For MVP is Mike Santana. For LVP is Santino Marella. Chase.
I'm going with the whole TNA Knockouts division. That division is in the mud. I don't know what's the future of it. Indy Hartwell sucks, so I can't just give her LVP. Kalani Jordan is trying. It's just the NXT Knockouts Championship. It's the third title in NXT. I love it.
Yeah, Josh, LVP.
I'm gonna go with Santino. That shit he pulled on that stupid call your shot shit, and then going for 5 more minutes, and then for that to happen, definitely Santino.
Yeah, he was blowing it here. And then moment of the night, I am going to go with Jeff Swanton. Chase.
I'm actually gonna go with Mustafa Ali missing the going through the tax. It was such a satisfying moment that the heel gets comeuppance.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the choke bomb. I'm gonna go with Agent Zero's choke bomb.
I was going between those two, but I really enjoyed Mustafa Ali taking that spot. Like, it was just like so satisfying seeing the heel get his comeuppance. It was like so perfect too.
I'm gonna go tie. I'm gonna go the choke bomb by Agent Zero on Alicia and the Javon Evans fake out.
Oh,
cutter.
That was good.
Fake out cutter. It's one of that's my favorite spot on this show.
He's like, I ain't doing no testosterone. Fuck you.
Gosh.
I'm gonna go with the Ali spot where he missed the 450 on the tax.
That's a good shout by Greg Carter. The Santana handing his daughter the title.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Definitely up there for moment of the night as well. But we've made it to the end of our TNA Bound for Glory 2025 review. We want to thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up, comment down below if you're watching on demand. I want to thank Chase and Josh for joining me today. Chase, I want to give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at ChaseOver68. Around the point later today, we're doing Steve's Kitchen, talking about everything, especially like the shocking twist at the end of Monday Night Raw tonight, and or this morning, and True Picks Wednesday night. Me and Stat King, we're gonna pick the NFL season, and whenever SP3 needs a fill in, I'm like the 6th man, 7th man on the bench. I got you. I'm Dalton Connect. Come in for a little bit.
We always appreciate it, good brother. Josh?
You can follow me, JMPunk321, X and Instagram, and I'll be back this Saturday for THH. Look forward to coming back and see what fuckery has been going on in the week of wrestling. I mean, we already had Raw. I gotta watch the full episode, but I already know like the clip notes of the main stuff that happens. So look forward to that.
Yes, we're going to have a good one tomorrow here on the channel, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Rated Raw review, myself and the the Top Guy JJ will be here live at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Knowing what the ending was to Monday Night Raw and seeing it live and knowing my reaction to it, I wouldn't be surprised if Romeo decides to show up tomorrow, because that ending was actually so good. I think he might show up. So check us out tomorrow. Join us live for that. If you want to see Romeo, check out our WWE Crown Jewel 2025 review with myself and Romeo breaking down the latest WWE PLE. Check out the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, True Hill Heat 350, with myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the Top Guy JJ, where we talked about this week in wrestling with the fallout from Crown Jewel, talking all about Cena versus Styles. We asked the question, have WWE fans turned on Triple H? We talk about Santos Escobar and all the drama he went through with re-signing with WWE and the WWE NXT releases, plus much, much more. Check that out. That's up right now. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow for Rated Raw review. We got our NJPW King of Pro Wrestling review on Wednesday, where, yes, we're going to be talking about the Alpha now on top. And we'll talk about that later this week. Thursday, we got AE Ramble. Friday, we got our AEW Wrestle Dream preview. And then on Saturday, the flagship. On Sunday, Wrestle Dream review. So for Chase, for Josh, it is me, your true phenom, SP3. This has been our TNA Bound for Glory 2025 review. We are signing off until next time.